Napoli making convincing moves for Scott McTominay. I'm going to tell you in this live video what that is, where Napoli's approach has gone so far, and what their plan is. Besides Osimhen, what's happening with AMRABAT, and how could that affect Manchester United's development with Scott and UGARTE? Looking back on the information that came in from UGARTE yesterday, there is more detail that hasn't been brought up that I'm going to bring to you now, which is probably really important where Manchester United stance is on this one as well. Future plans for left-back to talk about as well. Young academy players being sold left, right and centre. All of that to get through in your morning video. 8 a.m. bright and early, guys, getting you up to date with everything that's happened overnight and early this morning, so you're set up for your day. I'm Adam. This is Forever United TV. Welcome to the early morning show, guys. Please do give the video a like. Let's try and get up near 1,000 likes again on this video. Subscribe to Forever United TV to make sure that you are not missing out on anything Manchester United related. All of your content that is free, so why wouldn't you want to subscribe? Get into it, everyone. Where are we at this morning then, guys? Well, we're looking at the situation with Scott McTominay more than anything right now, because there has been significant developments overnight. We've got plenty of stories coming about. We've got plenty going on with Scott McTominay. But the man who's been pretty much all over it from the Napoli side of things is Alfredo Padula. And I read into his article. I went into his website and actually read what's going on with Scott. Now, my Italian isn't great, obviously, so I translated it. And then I read it. So, yes. So, everything, you can rest assured, has come from the horse's mouth. And it is translatable. But yeah, Napoli are working to complete the signing of Scott McTominay regardless of the attacker issue. McTominay would like to work together with Antonio Conte. We know all of that, but a link directly to Alfredo's website and his personal website and the news on this, it gives you a little bit more detail as to what's actually going on. So we have spoken about Osimhen going to Chelsea. Obviously, Lukaku is going to Napoli. Now, Napoli's priority right now, according to Romano, is obviously getting Lukaku through the door. Gun-shy, issues with strikers. Obviously, Conte has got the best and got Lukaku into the best shape of his career. So that is where their priority is right now. But they do understand that Scott McTominay is a priority, and their approach to Scots and what they're saying is they want to buy Scott McTominay. They know that United don't want to loan Scott out, and that is off the table for them. So they're negotiating their price, but what they are trying to do is move this deal forward sooner than transfer deadline day. They don't want to drag this out till the end of the window. They want to make a point by putting this forward, making it happen quicker, possibly by a weekend in their eyes, and getting an actual decision, that is, because they're aware that Scott doesn't want to go. In their eyes, and what the reporters said, is that they know that Scott doesn't want to be dragging this out right to the end of the window and causing to be any drama at all within. So they are trying to move this forward as quick as possible, and they're making a point of saying to Manchester United and Scott McTominay that, look, we know the situation that you're in. We've got our own situation financially as well. We are going to move things forward and still commit to this signing, even if Osimhen does not happen for Chelsea and they get them funds in. I think it will, because Lukaku's going the other way, and there is a big sort of link and agreement in place there that is what's happening right now. Obviously, Chelsea have just bought João Felix in, so they're starting to move their parts along. Lukaku needs to go, and that's Conte's priority. He needs to get him over the line and done quick. But then it is all about Scott McTominay for Napoli and Antonio Conte past that point, and they want to make it clear to him that they want to get him in quicker. They don't want any drama dragging this out till the end of the window. They don't want any of that. They want to make this point across. Look, we got you as priority. You have made us priority in terms of speaking to us, turning the other deals down from Fulham and other clubs as well. And we are going to show the same coming back the other way. Their move is, and their prices, according to this report, is a bit of the concerning side though, because they're at around about the 20 million mark, which we know isn't going to cut it. So what goes on and what gets negotiated over the next couple of days, it is concerning because, well, it's not, at the end of the day, look, if Scott stays, it's not the end of the world. He's a squad player, and we know that. Manchester United will push forward with UGARTE regardless of what happens with Scott McTominay. But he does actually play a part in this, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute with the UGARTE situation. But Manchester United right now are in a position where They're trying to get that bigger price and get what they want for Scots. Like Romano says, they're insistent on 30 million euros. I think Napoli are coming short of that. But the other news that came out, which you can see going across the bottom of your screen now, is also that Fabrizio Romano has said that Napoli have touched base with Fiorentina regarding Sofian Amrabat and the situation there. And like the other day with Burnley and Sander Berge going, this is all playing into PSG's hands right now. And United, who under Ineos and the new structure have done well this summer, I think are coming across their first major hurdle here, because we thought we could get, like we did with Bayern Munich, a deal out of the football club. PSG have stood firm, and United's other options are disappearing by the wayside day by day right now because the window is dragging on. We spoke about it the other day, like how long can United hang on before making something happen or committing to a move, because the other targets are going to go. And I can see people waiting and sharpening the knives and saying, look, this is just what it was before. Waiting right until the end of the window, like Antony, and then paying even more money than what we wanted to pay. The headlines are already there. People are already making their opinions upon what this new regime at United is about. And it's no different than what it was with just the Glazers in situ last season. So you can see all of that bubbling up, and you can see all of them opinions ready to go. AMRABAT being talked to by Napoli is not good for Manchester United. It really isn't. It puts us in a really difficult situation. And it puts across the advantage back onto what PSG is saying. Look, we're happy. We have offered you the loan. And that's where this gets really interesting now, because it is Napoli that have offered Manchester United the loan. And that's what I wanted to bring up next, because yes, Manchester United and the talks yesterday regarding a loan with obligation to buy, that's great and that's fantastic. But you read into it, and it's like Simon Jones from the Mail put up last night, and that was the latest news we had on this. It's like PSG offered United that loan. We didn't put that forward. Manchester United don't want to offer. Manchester United don't want to do a loan for UGARTE. That's a no-go for them right now. That's just been offered by PSG. And I didn't even pick up on it yesterday. I was just thinking, well, we can get this deal done and move forward and actually get UGARTE with not actually having to spend any money. And I was just being, I don't know, just like not looking into it in detail. And it now looks like, well, no, it doesn't now look like, it actually was already there, that Manchester United still only want to buy Manuel UGARTE, the loan. And the loan that was offered was the same one that was offered weeks ago, that Romano, that Plettenberg, and all of the journalists over the last 2 days have been talking about and saying this was the one that was on their table before. Unlike when Ben Jacobs said, like, there is now an agreement, PSG are open to doing a loan for Manuel UGARTE. Well, no, that was always there. That was just a news and a headline. I think that's just journalists actually making something of a situation that's gone dead. Between Manchester United and PSG, it's never changed. When you look at all of the details, I'm reading through all of the tweets and reading through all of the articles, nothing has changed. This loan hasn't just appeared out of nowhere as an option for United. It's PSG saying we want what we want for Manuel UGARTE price-wise. If you pay it now or if you pay it next summer, we're in a better financial position than what you are, which is true. So when you look at the UGARTE situation, Scott McTominay does come into it, because United, if they don't want to go down this loan side of things and pay, which is probably going to be top whack for PSG and what they want. Let's be honest, if you're going to give a player away for a season without taking anything, you're going to want a massive chunk at the end of that loan period, aren't you? So really, PSG are in the box seat now with United. And United don't want to pay that fee. It's as simple as that. They don't want to do the loan. They don't want to pay that obligation fee, which is the exact max amount. So PSG are playing the game perfectly. United have played a very good game this summer as well, but you can't win them all. And United right now are being backed into a corner. They're running out of allies, as it says. Like Sander Berge is gone. Now AMRABAT talking to Napoli as well, just in case Scott doesn't happen. Like, Napoli have got their offer on the table for Scott McTominay, but they have to do like what PSG and United and every other club in the transfer window are doing. There needs to be a backup plan. United's backup plan is disappearing. Right now, the backup plan is Toby Collier for Manchester United, because there's no one else at the table. So whereas I'm still happy with that, and I'm happy to see a young lad come through, you automatically have them concerns, don't you, that we just haven't got enough for this season ahead in that midfield area. And whereas I've said before, look, Toby Collier coming through is fantastic, and we could get another Kobbie Mainoo, situation as we did last season, and young lads coming through and actually saving our season, really, and being that one shining light from last season, which got us through all the way into that FA Cup final, which pretty much was covering over a massive crack of a season. And yeah, that's great, but reality is we did need more in midfield. We did need more, and I feel that Scott McTominay going, United really may have to buckle a bit on Scott because of what Fulham have done in taking Zanderberger and moving away from Scott, because that was the highest bid. Galatasaray can't afford him. Scott doesn't want to go and play back under Jose and move to Istanbul, we've heard from yesterday. Now, Napoli are the only options, and if United insist on this price, then there is a real possibility as well. And I'm not doom-mongering here or anything like that, so I'm not saying that Manchester United won't get UGARTE yet. I'm still confident we will. I just think we'll have to pay more. But if United do stick to the Barada and the Ashworth and this new regime sort of tactic that we've had all summer, then there is a possibility that the midfield is as you were, but without AMRABAT from last season. That we have to actually come to the realisation that that is actually something that could happen. And whether you like it or not, this is Ineos and their plan going forward as the bigger picture for Manchester United, as we keep on saying for every show. But you look at everything that's happening right now. You look at the Scott situation, the UGARTE one, what's happening with AMRABAT, what Fulham have done with Zanderberger. Like, Manchester United are not in as comfortable a position as they was 2 weeks ago. Everything was in their hands 2 weeks ago, and they were confident they could get this done. But again, you run the risk of running it right to the end of the window because other clubs have to make moves. Other clubs can't hang around. Burnley had to make a move on Zanderberger because they need money themselves to reinvest. They've got a player there that's not playing. Can they get someone else in with that money? Of course they can. Now they're discussing terms with United for Hannibal as well. So whereas that one sort of worked out a little bit for United, it's not dealing with the bigger problem, which is getting that out-and-out first-team midfielder in that United desperately need. So when you've got all of the journalists saying that United will definitely bring in a player, they're definitely going to buy a midfielder, I honestly don't know who that is now. I don't. I still think United will give a little bit more for UGARTE. I think if we're at 42 million, I can see that creeping up to maybe 45, and United going with a take it or leave it offer. I don't think they're going to go for the loan. The loan would be sheer desperation from United's part, I feel. They don't want to go near it, and they would have to put in plenty of stipulations and their own obligations into this and conditions into that loan deal to make it work, because right now it is just playing right into PSG's hands, and they will have to pay a big chunk next summer. So really, Scott McTominay is key because he might give United that little bit more in terms of being able to up the price for UGARTE from maybe a 42 to 45, 47. Look, PSG will come down a few mil, I think, but they're going to get as close as they can to that 60 million euro that they paid for UGARTE. And they're not going to stop. They're going to keep pushing United all the way, because if they're ready to offer Manchester United a loan with obligation and let UGARTE go this season for nothing, then they're clearly in a financial position which suits them where this negotiation's going. It's definitely a better position for them than it is United at the moment, and we are in a little bit of a hole with this midfielder situation. So, yeah, they're pretty much the developments that you've got to look at and go, well, yeah, we are actually, when you break it all down, struggling a little bit. Guys, we've got over 1,400 in the room with us right now. Please give the video a like. We've only got 250 likes. Surely that should be up nearer the 500 mark for nearly 1,500 people in the room. Please give the free content a like, guys, and make sure you're subscribing to Forever United TV as well. Thank you, everybody. We're going into more details on what you think is happening with this. Get your opinions across. Do you think I'm right with my assessments? How do you judge what United are doing right now? Get your comments in, please, everyone. We got a super chat in from Genius here. Adam, they are called transfer negotiations. We want 30 million. They are offering 20 million. You negotiate to 25 million. We will take it. I know. Did I not just say that, Gene? I said it's part of the transfer game all along. I know that. Thanks for the super chat. But yeah, I'm not unaware of that situation. The bigger concern is, look, you're going to have to really get close to what United want to let Scott go. Napoli don't have the money. They don't have the money. And when it comes to UGARTE, well, yeah, we know that PSG are going to push this all the way. So when you talk about negotiations, yes, negotiations with, 3 weeks left of the window, when you've got other options there available, they're a lot easier. When AMRABAT goes, when Zanderberger goes, when Fofana goes, and there's no other options, you end up paying more if you really want that player. There's nothing you can do. So it's all right saying negotiations are negotiations and it goes up and it goes down. You bid in. If the other club haven't got the money, which we know Napoli don't, and United don't accept it, we're going into the season with Scott McTominay and Toby Collier. They're the only extra midfielder. Well, Scott's not an extra midfielder, but Collier's the only extra midfielder in our squad right now. And there is a possibility that that will happen unless United go bigger on UGARTE or accept the loan terms that PSG. Either way, Manchester United right now are not going to get the price that they want for UGARTE. They're going to have to pay a bigger fee for the loan, or they're going to have to pump up a little bit more cash to make it happen as a permanent deal this summer. And yeah, they didn't want this to happen. They thought they could negotiate in a better deal that suited them. But hey, look, you don't win everything. Sometimes you have to take a little bit of a hit. If it's all for the football side of things and helping United progress on the pitch, sometimes you may have to spend a little bit more money than what you wanted to. I don't think it'll be a lot, and I think United may even still walk away from the UGARTE deal. I mean, you could go in at 45, 47, and then say to PSG, that's it, that's as far as we're going. You don't take the piss anymore, and you walk away. Yeah. Rabiot is still an option, says Stuart. To morning to you as well, Stu. He is. He's a free agent, and that will start. I think that will start heating up around the end of the transfer window. So, like next Friday, I think Rabiot talks are going to be rife. I think we should just sign Papula from Valencia and give the middle finger to PSG. I don't know how many other people United have been chasing. Like the only ones that we know about are the ones that have been reported. There could be other targets that United could go for. There could be other targets. Well, we'll see, won't we? Should have took the 25 mil from Fulham, says Chris. Greg says, if that's what Barada thinks, that that's the limit for UGARTE, then we trust that. And we should trust that if we don't buy him, there is a reason for the plan. Look, Greg, well said, mate. Well said. Agree with that. Look, we cannot buckle every single time just through desperation of needing a player through the door. The player will be there again next summer, and it will show Manchester United's intention as to how they're moving forward now. And it will be a big sort of like statement, really, you could say. If United don't get UGARTE, then for transfer windows in the future, I think that bodes well. Maybe not great for this season ahead in terms of options, but it will definitely put us in a better position negotiation-wise into the future windows. And you've got to take a stand somewhere. If Omar Barada doesn't want to spend that amount of money on a player, he won't do it. It's as simple as that. There will be a point and he will just walk away. And the expectation then falls onto Ten Hag's shoulders to make something happen with this squad. AMRABAT basically didn't play, and fingers crossed Casemiro continues as he started. On top of that, we have Collier and possibly fit Mount as well. So Owen actually saying that there's still a positive in the air with United right now. We went very cold on Edison. Yeah, Edison is still available. United are looking at him still. A possibility. Talks have always continued, and there has been dialects continuously with Edison. Whether that comes up, I don't know. But he is up near that 50 million mark as well. So if you're not going to spend 50 on UGARTE at 23, are you going to spend it on Edison? That's the question. And only Ineos and Manchester United can answer that. So, again, it's a tough one to be in. And it's a tough one to sort of dissect in terms of where United are going to go from here. But Barada is the one. He's the one that's going to make the decision at the end of the day. He's the one holding all of the purse strings and everything in control financially for Manchester United. He's done it for City for years. United will walk away from UGARTE if they don't get what they want. And they won't buckle to that loan offer either. That's an offer, like we said. If you are just joining us, guys, the loan offer was given by PSG. It's the same one that was there 2 weeks ago. Nothing has changed. United haven't forced this on or negotiating this in. PSG are in a comfortable financial position where they can offer Manchester United the loan. And United really then will end up paying max fee for UGARTE next summer. So, yeah, not the ideal situation, which I was pretty much putting across yesterday. I was thinking of the whole financial picture for this window and getting through this financial fair play year, to be honest. But United are still sticking to their guns in terms of what they want out of each individual deal. And if it doesn't match, they're going to walk away. There is a 50-50 chance, I think, with UGARTE that he comes or United walk away. I mean, that's where we're at situation-wise with it. As for Scott McTominay, at the top of the show, we just said there, Napoli are making it clear that regardless of Osimhen and Lukaku's situation and that money being available for Napoli to bid, then they're still pushing ahead with Scott. They don't want to take Scott McTominay down to the transfer deadline day. That's what they're saying. They're understanding that it is uncomfortable for a player. They're trying to sweeten Scott McTominay up a little bit and saying, look, we're going to do everything we can besides our other deals to get you in through the door. So that's where we're actually at with Scott. It could impact the UGARTE deal because United may need to give a little bit more to make the deal happen as a permanent sale this summer. United do not want to do a loan. They don't. There is an update on Scott McTominay from Sky that was out yesterday, as you've probably seen already. It was reported yesterday that Fulham have actually offered the same amount to Manchester United for Scott McTominay as what they're paying for Sander Berge. So really, it was Fulham giving Manchester United the middle finger on Scott McTominay and saying, look, we've got another option here. This is what we're going to go with. So, yeah, I don't think United expected that. And that's why everything has sort of changed. The environment around the Scott McTominay deal has changed quite significantly. And United around UGARTE, I think it does impact it. United have got money right now to pay for UGARTE. That's clear. It doesn't matter about anything else that's going on. But PSG will not accept that bid. They will not accept 42 million. That's where United are at. Apparently, PSG want that 51 million. And we are 10 million apart. How close PSG want that to close, it's entirely up to them. But that's where United are actually at. They are negotiating a deal to buy UGARTE permanently. They don't want to do the loan, because it would mean they had to succumb to that full 51 million when the player is a year older and he might not have worked through the season. And let's be honest, PSG hold all of the cards when it comes to the loan. They put in the stipulations that they want. Manchester United can try and add conditions themselves, but you know what PSG have been like. They've stood by it. They've stood by it continuously. So, yeah, it's really, right now, like I said before, it's a situation, a position PSG are more favourable in, and they're probably the ones that are going to get the better deal out of this right now. A few more chats coming in. Keep them coming in now, guys. David says, PSG don't want UGARTE. Their manager isn't selecting him. If he sits out this season, they can't demand close to what they want right now. They do. They demand what they want, David. That's the problem. Like that, their ownership, they don't care about anything else. They do not care. Like it's a situation that I think PSG have had plenty of issues in transfer windows before. And problem. They are stubborn, and we are on the wrong end of it, I'm afraid. It's a player that's only been there a year. And yes, you're right. Enrique doesn't want to play him, but still, you've got to look at what Manchester United's situation is as well. They're trying to take a player away from PSG that's only been there a year and it's got a big contract. And if PSG financially are able to see out the season and not sell UGARTE to meet their financial commitments, then they're just going to sit there. It's not a problem. They have moved into the stronger position right now. Great result for United last night in the under-21s. Fletcher scoring a screamer to win it late on. Talking of other Manchester United academy players, Oyedele is on his way to Legia Warsaw. He's having a medical today, so another academy player gone. We know that Vitek is on his way to Australia as well. That deal gone. We're expecting more news today regarding Hannibal Mejbri to Burnley. Manchester United negotiating with Burnley right now for a fee there, but that looks positive and that is moving forward very, very quickly. So United should be able to get a decent fee for Hannibal Mejbri as well. In other news as well with Manchester United, we are looking at the left-back situation, as we found out from Laurie Whitwell yesterday, in fact. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, in fact, where Manchester United are now not buying a left-back this summer. They are just going to wait it out. This is a full-on Omar Barada situation right now. It's like, we have got our targets, but we will wait for our targets and get them next year. Kirkez is very favourable. There was a report last night on the Muppeteers talking about Kirkez, the left-back from Bournemouth. United will see out this season without bringing a left-back in. And they feel that they've got enough cover to do it. The progress with Tyrell Malacia, I was told yesterday as well, there was reports coming in for injury updates on every player at United right now. But Malacia has had no relapses at all. And that's come straight from Carrington. No relapses at all. He is in full recovery mode. He's now just fighting to get back to match fitness. So, no issues at all. The recovery process is going really well for Tyrell Malacia. So he will be available come the end of September, early October for Manchester United. I think that's the confidence they've taken from not going out and just buying anyone and putting him on a ridiculous wage when they don't need to and he may not play. They're going to trust in the process of the recovery and the medical team. I know that sounds a bit rich considering how bad United were last season for injuries, but Malacia has had no relapses and he will be part of Manchester United's team this season. So they've got that. So they're expecting Luke Shaw to come back by the end of the international break. So they're happy with that situation. But Kirkez is a target. If Kadoglu goes, if he doesn't go, then United will have him as another target. It now looks favourable that Kadoglu will end up at Brighton by the end of this transfer window because he wants to move this summer. United may miss out on him. Unless something drastic happened in the last week of the window. United turned away from UGARTE, trusted in Collier, and maybe went out and bought a left-back. Well, they could to make sure that they got the one they wanted. I don't know. It's all speculation right now on that side of things when it comes to Manchester United buying in a left-back. I think it will be like this, the reports have said, I think it'll be next summer, next window for a left-back for United. They'll buy the one that they want. And that's how they're going to do it. That's how they're going to operate. Director of Football and Chats, if that's true about Malacia, then cool, I can understand that. I'm totally convinced if it was 100% Ineos's transfer window, we would have seen all signings under 23 years old. AMRABAT is a terrible passer and clumsy on the turn, in my opinion. One good FA Cup final does not mask the rest of the performances. That's from Sean. So we got here. Kazi says, no, he's just talking to someone else. Kadoglu is average defensively. I disagree. I think he's a good defender as well as going forward. But everyone's got opinions. There's never going to be the perfect signing, is there? James Shakespeare says, it would make more sense to loan Malacia out and bring an experienced left back in for a season. Steve Morgan Edison is the backup. We will see. He's dearer than UGARTE, and United won't pay for him, and he's older, so I don't know about that one. Almac says, why did we think we would win the Battle of Wills with PSG when they have unlimited oil money, sorry. We should have moved on weeks ago. You would hope that financial fair play would prevail in all of this, and PSG would to come, but it's clear that doesn't count. One thing is also clear is that teams in the Champions League have got an awful lot of money, and they know they can balance their books by just going through the group stages or the opening league stages of this new format of the Champions League. The money involved in the Champions League is ridiculous now. And it's like what City won when they won the Champions League through getting all the way to the final. You can pretty much get that for getting through the league phase into the last 16. That's the same money there. So you can see why it's more lucrative to be in the Champions League. And that's why Manchester United have missed out. It's why Sir Jim Radcliffe said it in that first interview that he said, like, getting into the Champions League, that is a big, big plus for helping us with financial fair play. He already knew. And then they're dealing with the underperformance of Manchester United from there, not getting in the Champions League, and now in this window with players that really no one really wants, coming to the end of their contract on stupid money contracts and getting Manchester United's transfers in with all of that hanging around. It was a difficult summer. We knew it was going to be. But we have got through it to this point with like a couple of deals hanging in the balance. It ain't bad, is it? It ain't that bad. We've done well. I'm still sticking by it. The news that Rashford is going to Barcelona is definitely fake news. Look, Rashford's going next summer if United if he doesn't do well this season. That's what's been said. Like, forget Rashford for this window. Anything that happens with Marcus Rashford will be into the next summer's window with Ineos. Then when they're making big decisions. Because let's not forget, Ten Hag will be one year left on his deal that he's renewed, or he's triggered the 1 year extension of at the end of this season. So he's just prolonged his contract by a year, and he has got the same say on transfers. Be interesting to see if he gets a renewal next year after this season, and then it will be on Ineos' terms. Now that they've had a full season in, it won't be the same. And whether or not the transfer window changes, how much of a say Ten Hag has had in this window, we don't know. But, hey, look, either way, Manchester United next summer will be in a miles better position. Let's see. We have got updates on Jadon Sancho coming up at the lunchtime show as well, guys. So stay tuned for that. 12 o'clock midday is the next show, our fully interactive show, where we bring you guys in as well, giving more of your opinions on everything going on with United. So make sure that you're ready for that one. This is our quickfire update show early in the morning. And that pretty much rounds everything up. Guys, do make sure, please, everyone, in the chat there is a link to the United Couple podcast. Me and Kaz going over everything from the opening day, what happened at Old Trafford, in and out of them transfer windows and everything like that, and our week behind the scenes on FUTV. The link is in the chat right now, guys, pinned to the top. Go click on that. Go give the episode 17 of the podcast a watch there as well, everyone. Much appreciated. Give us your feedback on that. Make sure you go over and subscribe as well and catch up on the other episodes. Let's see if we can get to 500 likes. Go! Like the video right now, just as I'm rounding everything up. I want to thank the super chats. I want to thank the members and mods for doing the work in the chat as well. And everybody who is in, any new subscribers, anyone who is new to the channel, welcome along. If you are just watching and haven't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button, guys. It is important. It helps the channel. It moves us forward. We're moving at a very fast pace at the moment. We're growing, and we're looking to bring even more and better content to you guys. Let's just look at it that way. Oh, yes. And that's us done. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a fantastic morning. And I will see you all at 12 o'clock. Have a blinder. Yeah. I'll leave you with 20 times. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. I will be back with the full update show at 12 as usual. Live. Make sure you're there. I'll see you all in there. And I'm sure there'll be more breaking news by then. This is what this last week of the window is going to be for us United fans, guys. I'll see you then, now.